Captain. I couldn't get back to sleep after... Never mind. Forget I said anything.
I hear the boy asked to learn swordsmanship.
He did. Glenn is teaching him the basics.
Reminds me of when you first joined our little family. You weren't much older than him, if memory serves, and equally eager to learn the blade.
I wanted to contribute to the brigade as thanks for taking me in. That feeling hasn't changed.
And you continue to do us proud.
Do I, though? I don't want Naki to turn out like me.
That's fair. None should have to go through what you did.
Naki asked if it scared me to fight the Mort.
And what did you tell him?
That it did, of course.
Well... if it gives you any peace, I have also been no stranger to fear since the incident. There are things in this world more terrifying than death. Piece of advice from one survivor to another. You should rest whenever you get the chance. But for now, go get some rest. That's an order.
Lorthos dispatches a missive to the Nest, which Rowan receives by way of Messenger Hawk. He reports that the Luden army has safely traversed the Orsum Divide. They will continue on to the Nisa Plains, where they plan to engage the Mort's main force. The message goes on to request the Ashenhawk Brigade's assistance with a joint operation in the coming battle. Lorthos wants the Hawks to disrupt the Mort forces by bringing down the command base on their weak right flank. Once the Mort are in disarray, the Luden army will advance and crush them in a single devastating offensive. Rowan agrees to aid Lorthos with his plan. The Hawks' target lies beyond Rimrock Village, on the opposite bank of the Moldva River. He and Socius will create a diversion by marching their squad up to the gates of the command base. While the enemy is distracted, Sarah and the others will launch a surprise attack from the rear. Sarah's squad departs the Nest to take position behind the command base, but first, they must reach the Moldva River.
Civilians? This is ill news indeed.
Love.
Yeah, saving lives is our top priority. But still...
The captain's squad is wide open in front of the Mort base. The longer we take to get there, the more danger they're in.
Worry about that later. Right now, we have to save these people.
We managed to drive off the Mort. It should be safe here now. It appears all the civilians survived as well. Fine work, everyone.
Thank goodness.
Hey, listen up.
What is it, love?
One of the survivors told me the Luden army went and got themselves thrashed by the Mort.
What?
Yep, and when they saw their shiny knights get cut down, the civilians abandoned their courage and took flight. But it didn't matter, because the Mort found them anyway. They would have been worm food if we hadn't come along.
The Luden army was defeated?
I doubt their main force has been routed, but it's clear the battle isn't going their way. We should hurry.
He's right. Move out. I doubt we'll encounter any survivors here. We should expect the worst.
I don't like these odds. Should we find another way around?
The captain's squad can't keep the Mort busy forever.
True. Every diversion has its limits. If the Luden army is in trouble, we haven't the time to be clever. We have to cut our way through.
Guess there's only one play here. Let's do it.
We'll wipe out the Mort and make our way through the village. Let's move. And that's that. The Mort base is just ahead.
It's do or die.
Yep. Time to step up and bail our favorite little lordling and his army out of trouble.
I doubt their pride can take being saved by curs like us. They hail from the great land of Luden, after all.
We're no strangers to being hated by those we fight for. Now let's go.
It's certainly well guarded.
If we can take this fort, it will throw the right flank of the Mort into disarray.
At which point the Luden army can take advantage of the weak point in their lines and crush them for good.
Captain, what are you doing here? I thought you were leading the diversion.
I got tired of playing the decoy, so I decided to break through the enemy lines instead.
An incredibly reckless decision, even if there are fewer foes than we were expecting.
This is the Ashen Hawk's moment to shine. How could I miss it? It all comes down to this. If we defeat the Mort here, the tide of the entire war will turn in our favor. This battle decides our fate, as well as the fates of all those in the nest. You know what to do. Now burn away your fear.
And survive among the ashes.
Move out, Hawks. The enemy commander dies this day.
We've taken the fort.
Mission accomplished, Captain.
Something strange, though.
What do you mean?
I can't hear anything. It's silent.
What did you expect? We slaughtered the Mort down to the very last.
No, it's not that. The Luden army should have engaged the Mort horde by now. We took out their commander, which means the chain of command should be unraveling. So why don't we hear them fighting? Why don't... Oh, hell. I should have known the gaps in their flanks were too convenient. We played right into their hands.
Captain, if I may, I come bearing urgent news. The nest is under attack.
We have to get the survivors out of there!
Leaving so soon?
We have to go! Now!
We can't leave him!
Remember our creed.
Get off me, you idiot!
I still
If
have...
you truly respect the captain, then honor his final command.
Fly free, my hawks. Socius. Death is finally upon us.
Rowan and Socius give their lives so that Sarah, Naki, and the other Hawks might live. Per Rowan's final command, the Hawks quickly gather what survivors they can find and set off for Jezza Village. Jezza lies deep within the Darklife Forest, but the Mort are loath to let any escape the destruction of the nest and immediately set off in pursuit. And thus begins their desperate flight.
The captain told us to seek refuge in Jezza Village, in the heart of Darklife Forest. This road will take us there. But it appears we're being followed.
We can't die now. Not after everything that happened.
We won't let the sacrifices of Captain Rowan and Lieutenant Socius be in vain.
Then run as fast as your legs can carry you. We must escape these Mort.
I think we've lost them.
For now, but they'll be back. Of that I am certain.
What do you think happened to the Luden army?
It's likely they fared no better than we.
And what did the captain mean when he said we played into the Mort's hands?
The Ashenhawk Brigade was becoming a thorn in their side. So they intentionally lowered their defenses to lure us in, then attacked the nest while we were away.
You believe the Mort capable of such schemes?
There's little chance it was coincidence. You saw the Mort that led the attack on the nest, yes?
I sure did.
I could smell the malice on that thing. They want us dead, and they'll not quit the chase until we are. We have to get out of here before more arrive.
Sarah,
You all right, Naki? Need to rest a little more?
thanks. But I'm fine.
Then let's get going. I knew they'd catch us eventually.
Doesn't look like we'll wriggle off the hook this time.
And this is where we make our stand.
Love! You daft idiot! What are you doing?
Damn that man. Follow Luff, everyone. To arms! What were you thinking? Charging off alone like that?
Cram it, Glenn. Who made you our leader anyway? I wanted to kill them, so I did. Now back off.
You truly are a fool, you know that.
Enough, both of you. We have enough enemies without making more from our own ranks.
Let's just get to Jezza Village. It's not far now, right, Glenn?
Do what you want. I'm going back.
Pack? Left. The captain and Socius are...
Don't even think it. That old man is a survivor to the very marrow of his bones. He'd never fall to some lousy Mort. Not a chance. Not our captain.
Luff.
I'm going. See you in hell, maybe.
Wait. I'll go with you. I don't want to lose any more family than I already...
You're not invited. And since when are we family? I've never thought of any of you like that.
Then why are you always protecting us?
Because I needed your help to survive. That's all this ever was.
If you needed us, that's all the more reason I should join you.
I understand how you feel, Luff, but right now we need to get to Jezza Village. It's one of the only supply bases we have left. Once we find it, you can...
It's fine. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Give me a minute to cool my head.
That was almost an apology.
He's not unreasonable. He just isn't sure what to do with himself now. A question which plagues me as well.
What are the damn Mort doing here?
Hold on, isn't that Lorthos?
Yes, and he seems to be in trouble, again.
Let's lend him a hand. Are you all right, Lorthos?
I am, thanks to you. It seems my debt continues to pile up without pause.
Yeah, and we don't work cheap.
Regardless, it is a bill I intend to repay in full one day.
What are you doing here?
Captain Rowan told me to find you in Jezza Village, should our plans go awry. Speaking of, where is the captain? Ah, I see. Sadly, I fear I have more ill news to share.
What is it?
The Luden army has been put to rout. The army of Luden met the main force of the Morts on the Niza Plains. We had them outnumbered and morale was high. But ignorance of our foe proved our undoing, for the Morts continue to defy all reason. They know no fear, require no sleep. They simply kill without mercy or hesitation. They are horror made manifest. Day and night, they continued their merciless slaughter, and our soldiers quickly came to dread them. Even so, we held faith in the plan, trusting in our army, along with the Hawk Brigade's assault on the command base. But the night before the stratagem was to be carried out, the Mort slipped our scouts and struck at our flanks. This attack threw our formations into disarray, and before we could recover, they came at us head-on. What happened next cannot be called battle. It was slaughter, nothing more. Some men surrendered, begging for their lives. But those pleas fell on deaf ears. The indifferent Mort cut them down one by one, as easily as if they were harvesting crops. The Luden army was decimated. I rallied what survivors I could and fled here, to the village Captain Rowan spoke of, so we might regroup.
A harrowing tale, indeed.
Our defeat was writ even before we captured that fort.
No, this isn't over. We haven't lost yet. We still draw a breath, as do the others who fled the nest. We all owe our lives to the captain, and must survive, for his sake.
I concur. It's too soon to abandon hope. We will survive, no matter what setbacks we face. This I learned from Captain Rowan, and from you. Tell me, have you heard of Fort Lorca?
I cannot say I have.
It serves as the base of operations for a defense force led by General Levante.
So, the mad tiger of Caladacia yet lives.
Yes, though his service to the Kingdom of Caladacia ended when the nation fell to the Mort. The general escaped and constructed a fort in the snowy mountains, where he now fights to defend his countrymen.
He hasn't changed a bit.
You've met this General Urs.
On the battlefield, yes. Several times, in fact. Before I joined the Ashen Hawks, mind.
I hear the General's protection extends not only to those of Caladacia, but any who seek refuge from the Mort. I am certain he would welcome you and yours.
Fort Lorica, huh? Tell me, Urs, what kind of man is this General Levante?
An honorable warrior, even in the bloodiest battle, and a good man who helped all in need.
Lorthos, prepare your soldiers.
Apologies, but I will remain here.
What? Why?
There are injured soldiers nearby who have yet to join us. I will find them, then return to Ludin for reinforcements.
Well, someone's become quite the capable leader.
All thanks to the Ashen Hawks, yes. The roads to Fort Lorica are all occupied by the Mort. It will not be easy to break through with refugees in tow.
Perhaps we could secure a ship from Port Annan and travel to Caladacia by sea.
An excellent idea.
It's settled then. We make for Port Annan.
Farewell, my friends. May we all survive amidst the ashes.
Stay safe, Lorthos.
The Hawks depart Jezza village with refugees in tow, their sights firmly set on Fort Lorica. With the overland route blocked by the Mort, they seek another means of reaching their destination. They now make for Port Annan, in hopes of finding a ship that might carry them across the sea. But between dwindling rations, Mort attacks, and frightened refugees in tow, the journey will not be easy. Yet the Hawks march on in the midst of despair, for they know there is no option but survival.
Port Annan is just across this bridge, but...
Wow, the Mort sure did a number on this thing.
Still, it appears safe enough to cross.
well, except for all the Mort.
That's not a problem. That's stress relief.
For once, I agree with Luff. We need to secure this bridge and get the refugees across. We'll start by taking out the enemy commander. Prepare for battle, everyone. The bridge is secure. We should cross before Mort reinforcements arrive. Are you ready, Naki?
Yeah.
You sure? You must be absolutely exhausted.
We've hardly stopped to rest since we left Jezza. The lack of food and water will take its toll on the civilians.
I'm fine, really.
Still a long way to Fort Lorica. Who knows how many of us will make it.
We all will. I won't leave a single soul behind. Now let's move.
Pardon, but might I trouble you for a moment of your time?
Is something the matter?
I wanted to take this opportunity to convey our gratitude for all that you've done.
You sure you don't mean complaints? Most of your people are 6 feet under now.
Complaints? Heaven forbid. I cannot begin to imagine how many lives were saved because of the Ashen Hawks. I only pray Rowan and Socius know how grateful we are. The people of the Nest cannot thank you enough. And though it does little to repay our debt, we would be honored for you to have this.
I can't possibly accept.
No, I insist. May it prove useful in the struggles yet to come.
That's what everyone from the Nest was looking for, right? You were planning to give it to the Ashen Hawks.
We live in a cruel and uncaring world, Naki, but that only makes it more important to express our gratitude. The world, its nations, its villages, they're all made up of people just like us. This is why we must cherish the bonds between us. For we are all connected, you see.
Well, the Mort couldn't give a ripe fart about our cherished bonds. Sooner we wipe them out, the better.
When the man's right, he's right.
We've arrived in Port Annan. Now we just need to make our way to the docks and find a ship. Sadly, I doubt the Mort will simply step aside and let us pass.
Then we force our way through. Cut down any foes that bar your path, but don't go out of your way to engage them. We must reach those docks. Now move out. We made it through the enemy lines. Is everyone all right?
Yep.
The docks are just over there.
Probably should have asked this earlier, but can anyone sail? It's gonna suck if we came all this way for nothing.
Actually, I know my way around a ship.
You? I thought you were raised in the mountains.
The forest, actually. And while I know you don't really care, I very much do, so get it right next time.
Whatever, tree lady. So, how'd you learn to sail a ship? Not talking? Hey, suit yourself. So long as you can do it, I don't give a rip about the details.
Enough chatter. Let's get going.
Looks like we found our boat.
As well as a bunch of Mort that are in the way.
They won't be once I'm done with them.
Remember why we're here. We need to secure that vessel.
Steal it, you mean? Lucky for you, I'm almost as talented a thief as I am an assassin.
Let's go, Hawks. Ignore the Mort as best you can, and focus your efforts on reaching that ship. How's the ship, Karen?
Wasn't built yesterday, but I think she'll hold together.
We'll start by getting the refugees on board. Might you assist us with that, Naki?
Sure.
So do you really think Fort Lorica will take us in?
Levante is a compassionate old soldier at heart. I doubt he'll turn us away.
Yeah, but we're the Faithless Reapers, remember?
How could I forget?
Even if we're not welcome at Fort Lorica, the refugees will find shelter there. Once we arrive in Caladesia, I'll go ahead and sort things out with the Mad Tiger.
I take it you have a rapport with the man.
In a sense. We tried to kill each other on several occasions.
Oh. Well, I suppose we'll have to speak with him eventually. Next stop, Fort Lorica.
Finally secured a seaworthy vessel, the Ashenhawks set sail from Port Annan. Favorable winds carried them across the frozen sea, toward the distant Fort Lorica. Onwards they sail, all the while clinging to the faint promise of sanctuary at their journey's end.
It's an honor to meet you, General Levante. We are the Ashenhawks.
Save your breath, boy. I've already had the song and dance from this bastard. Interesting choice for a diplomat, him.
I apologize, General.
Apologize? For what? He was the exact right person to send. We've crossed steel more times than I can count. I may hate his guts, but I know he always speaks true. This fort belongs to any brave souls who stand against the Mort, for we are all comrades in arms against those beasts.
Then...
The Ashen Hawks are welcome at Fort Lorica, as are all refugees in your care.
You have our thanks, General.
Think nothing of it. But, to speak plain, we're in dire straits here. Those damnable Mort have us surrounded. I can't say for sure how long we can fend them off.
And pray, allow us to fight alongside you.
Now that is an offer I'm all too glad to accept. Come inside, and we can work out the details. Also, I was sorry to hear about Rowan and Socius.
You knew them?
Aye. We met in battle more than once. They were cunning, honorable, and bold of heart. A rare breed of scoundrel, both of them. And I heard what happened in Troden. The Faithless Reapers, is it? That's quite the name you've earned. Well, enough talk. Come inside and get some food and find a place to lay your heads. Just don't expect much in the way of comfort. We'll speak again once you've had a chance to recover from your journey.
The Mort have Fort Lorica surrounded, leaving them little choice but to hole up and prepare for a siege. However, Luden is said to be readying its remaining forces for a rescue mission to extract its injured soldiers and any refugees. Unfortunately, Levante expects the fort to fall before Luden is ready to conduct their mission of mercy. Near Fort Lorica stands Tucum Cathedral, where scouts claim the Mort are mustering forces in preparation for an attack. As such, Sarah and Glenn propose dispatching the Hawks to capture the cathedral before the Mort can strike. To safeguard both the people of Fort Lorica and the cherished bonds they share, the Hawks set off for Tucum Cathedral.
Well, what do you know? The old cat was right. This area is crawling with those wretched Mort.
Fort Lorica could not hold long against such numbers.
Which is why we're going to secure the cathedral before the Mort have a chance to strike. We cannot let Fort Lorica suffer the same fate as the Nest.
Indeed.
The Mort haven't noticed us yet, so we should be able to pick them off one at a time. Let's move.
Not a single one left standing.
Someone's having fun.
Killing Mort always makes for a good time.
Can't say I care much for killing, but it's clearly right in your wheelhouse. How about you, Sarah?
There is no joy to be had in dealing death, even when fighting mindless beasts like the Mort. Wielding a blade never gets any easier.
Right. It's the same for me. Whenever I'm fighting, or even if I just find myself enjoying something, I remember Troden. It's as if time stopped for us that day. Like we're all just living in the past.
So what should we have done, huh?
Luff?
Say we magically went back in time. What could we change? Maybe if we were better prepared? If we were stronger? Do you really think we could have settled things without killing innocent elders, women, and children? Come on.
I don't...
We're murderers, Karin. Our hands were stained long before Troden, and long before we joined the Ashen Hawks. I'm right about this, and we all know it. Don't try to pretend like you forgot. We made our choices a long time ago. There's no redemption for people like us.
I know that, all right?
Then stop talking nonsense, and let's get moving.
He's not as tough as he pretends to be.
What do you mean?
For all his bluster, I think he was actually trying to cheer us up back there.
You seem to have Luff all figured out. I thought I was starting to understand everyone. But sometimes I wonder if I'm just fooling myself.
Come on, you know that's not true.
Isn't it? We've been together for a while now. Yet I still know next to nothing about your life before the Hawks.
It's not exactly a pleasant story.
You told Bluff, didn't you?
Yeah, but we've been fighting together for ages and it just sort of slipped. Wait, is this all because you feel left out? You could be surprisingly childish at times, you know that? Anyway, Luff's right. Time to get moving.
Look at them tromping around like they own the damn place.
I'd imagine this cathedral was quite beautiful before those monsters showed up.
Such blasphemy deserves a good smiting.
I doubt the Mort give two thoughts about our gods.
You can say that again. Now focus up. Our target is the enemy commander. We'll rout them here, and Fort Lorica will be safe. Let's go. We've secured the cathedral.
That should give Fort Lorica some peace of mind.
For today, at least.
Let's head back and give General Levante our report.
He's going to call us bastards again, isn't he? Not that he's wrong, but...
I doubt he means it as a true insult. It seems to be a friendly nickname of sorts.
Right.
Bastard.
Sorry, did you say something?
No, it's nothing. Nothing important at any rate.
You sure? It looks like you've got something on your mind.
You've changed, Sarah.
Do you think? I can't really tell.
You have, believe me. Before, you never showed any interest in getting to know your acquaintances.
If it bothers you, I won't pry. But you're not just an acquaintance, Urs. We're family, right?
Yes, of course. And an irreplaceable one at that. Very well. In that case, let me spin you a tale from the days when I was yet a proud warrior. I was born to a village of fighters who revered the god of calamity. So I naturally found myself drawn to battle. I sold my axe to the highest bidder and was happy for it. Until the day I failed to notice my employer's treachery. I was enslaved and made to fight others' wars. Yet even then, I held fast to my own honor and my people's pride. It was while fighting for such unwanted masters that I first learned proud warriors existed beyond my people. Warriors such as the Ashen Hawks and Levante. Each time I encountered him, he would greet me with a hearty bastard.
That's what he called us at the fort, too. Glenn said it's just sort of a jokey nickname.
And he's right. But hearing it again after all that's happened, I feel it describes exactly what I have become.
Because of Troden?
The day my pride and honor were lost forever.
Urs.
I fear that wasn't the entertaining tale I promised. Still, I think speaking of it makes it easier to accept.
I hope the day comes when Bastard feels like just a friendly nickname to you again.
As do I.
Greetings, Hawks.
Lorthos, what are you doing here?
I wager you didn't expect to see me, did you?
No, actually.
Ludin has finalized the plans for the rescue mission, and I've come to share the details.
Emissary Lorthos made his way to the fort all on his own. He may look like a spoiled brat, but the bastard's got guts.
Surprised you didn't run into trouble along the way.
Oh, but I did. Several times, in fact.
Sounds about right.
I'm relieved you made it here in one piece. But I take it there's a reason you came alone?
Indeed there is. We have something of a situation.
Let's hear it.
Lorthos explains that Ludin has mobilized its military to rescue any soldiers who survived the battle with the Mort. After their defeat, the injured troops retreated to the Orsum Divide and sheltered in the ruined fortress of Urskron. Lorthos has arranged for the people of Fort Lorica to be included in this mission, giving them a chance to escape. But Luden cannot come to them. The people of Fort Lorica must make their own way to Erskron. If the people of Fort Lorica are to reach Erskron, this Mort horde must be eliminated. The Hawks then depart for the snowfields, so they might secure an escape route for the refugees.
I knew we'd run into the Mort sooner or later.
Fortunately, we should have no trouble dealing with a group of this size. According to Levante, there is a cave nearby that will take us to the graveyard where the Mort are holed up.
Can't say I'm much for paying respects to the dead.
We cannot let the Mort in the graveyard catch wind of our plans, so we must deal with this group before making for the cave. Ready yourselves for battle.
There. Dead Mort tell no tales.
Eloquent as always, Luff. Something the matter, Urs?
Whenever I see snow stained red with blood, it reminds me of my actions 2 years ago.
Troden.
Indeed. None of those people were warriors. Yet I slaughtered them all the same.
We had no choice. There was nothing else to be done. Regardless, it was the day I lost my honor as a knight. Now I'm just a common killer.
At least you had honor to lose in the first place. For me, that day changed nothing. I'm a vile blackguard. Always have been. And I damn well know it.
There will be time enough later to reflect on the past. We should keep moving.
Wait. Karin's wounded.
Huh?
Pray, forgive my inattentiveness, Karin. I trust the wound isn't deep.
No,
It's not serious. We already took care of Mort here, so I'll stay back and tend to her. We'll be right behind you.
But...
You heard her. Stop dragging your feet.
right.
Sarah, I'm fine and you know it. What's really going on here? I suppose I already know the answer to that. It's like Luff said. I was a murderer long before I joined the Hawks. It doesn't bother me. Can we go now?
It sure seems like it bothers you.
Because you think too highly of me. But since you won't let it go, I'll talk. Be warned, though. It's not a pleasant tale. I grew up in a village deep inside the woods. It was a place of wonder and beauty, and a place I can never return to. My father was duped by a wicked merchant, and more than one family from our village paid the price for his gullibility. My father, he died. But that wasn't enough for the others, so they banished me from the only home I'd ever known. With nowhere to go, I vowed revenge on the merchant who tricked my father, and eventually, I found and killed him. But, well, how do I put this? When the deed was done, I found myself wondering how I was any different from him. After I joined the Ashen Hawks, I convinced myself I wasn't anything like that villain. But then Troden happened, and I wasn't so sure anymore. In the end, I'm a murderer. Nothing more. I'm a villain no different from that merchant. I told you it wasn't going to be a pleasant tale. I bet you're afraid of me now, aren't you?
Of course not.
Hey, no need to get so riled up. I was just kidding around.
I'm not afraid of you, Karin. I'm really not. I'm just glad I've gotten to know you better. Knowing your past doesn't change my feelings at all.
That so? Thanks for pushing me, Sarah. I actually feel better having that weight off my chest. Still, the way I am now, I'm not sure I'll be able to face my father with a smile when I see him in the afterlife. Anyway, let's go. We've got work to do.
Right.
How's it going up here?
You feeling better, Karen?
I am, actually. All thanks to Sarah.
This cave should take us to the Mort base in Birching Graveyard.
Doesn't look like they've noticed us yet.
A fact we can use to our advantage. Getting through here is our highest priority, so we'll make a run for the exit. Let's move, Hawks. We managed to push our way through.
And the graveyard is just ahead.
If we can eliminate the Mort and camp there, it will tear a hole in their blockade. We must clear a path for the people of Fort Lorica. I want to protect every last one of them this time.
As do I.
Same here.
Sure, why not?
Then let's go.
So this is Birching Graveyard, huh?
Looks like the Mort wasted no time making themselves at home.
Such blatant disregard for the deceased.
If we can eliminate the Mort here, it will afford the people of Fort Lorica a path to safety. We have to wipe them out. Today we fight for both the living and the dead. It is a battle we cannot lose. Are you all prepared?
Just give the word.
My axe stands ready.
Hey, I'm always up for a slaughter.
Then let's get to it.
That's all of them.
We shattered the enemy perimeter around Fort Lorica, which means our work here is done.
If we return now, the people in the fort should be able to reach the rendezvous point with the Luden army. Let's go back and tell the general to prepare the refugees for extraction.
So, I wasn't sure if I should bring this up, but
Karen?
we managed to clear a path for the refugees, but I don't think we can do anything else for them in the time we have left. The thing is, a group that big won't be able to stay hidden from the Mort for long. And I don't think it's possible to get everyone from the fort to the rendezvous point in a single trip.
The same thought occurred to me, and I believe I may have a solution. However...
Say no more. I'm sold.
You don't want to hear his plan?
Whatever it is, I expect it's incredibly dangerous. I'm very much okay with that.
Not like we have any better options.
Besides, when have we ever balked at a reckless plan?
Works for me.
Now come on, let's get back to the fort.
Fine work, Hawks. Your assault punched a hole through the Mort blockade, and my men confirm the way is clear. We should proceed with the evacuation before they can reform their lines.
However, if we attempt to move everyone at once, the Mort will undoubtedly grow wise to our scheme. And with so many civilians and wounded, we won't stand a chance should they attack in the open.
I propose we evacuate the fort in stages, while those who can fight stay behind to buy time. What say you? I also recommend that those with the most experience fighting the Mort be the last to leave. That will keep them busy for as long as possible.
Agreed. It's our only chance to pull this off.
You plan to make your last stand here.
Do not mistake me. We've no desire to die. Once we determine we've bought the evacuees enough time, we'll fall back.
So it's to be a fighting retreat, with the warriors doing all they can to help the civilians reach safe harbor.
Precisely. In sum, all willing fighters will stay behind, to buy time for the refugees and wounded soldiers to make their escape. The evacuation will take place in 3 stages. The first team will depart at once, before the Mort reform their lines. It will consist of wounded soldiers, civilians, other refugees, and Naki. Lorthos will serve as their guide and leader. General Levante and his troops will make up the second team. The third and final team will remain until everyone else is safely away. And that job falls to us. This is no longer the Ashen Hawk Brigade's battle to fight, which means the choice is yours. Where do you stand?
Hey, holding the line during a drawn-out retreat is kind of the Hawk's specialty, no? Stands to reason we'd be the ones to do it.
Agreed. If it means keeping civilians safe, I'll gladly wield my axe.
All I want is to kill Mort. Sounds like this is my best chance to make them bleed. So count me in.
Thank you all.
How long do we have to keep the Mort company?
Lorthos will dispatch a Hawk when his team rendezvous with Ludin. This will serve as our signal to retreat.
So we just have to hold out until the Hawk arrives.
And if it never shows?
If we don't hear from Lorthos, we'll remain for 3 days after General Levante's departure. Then fall back.
3 days, huh?
How many of your soldiers can we expect to remain here, General?
Half, give or take.
We'll be cutting it close with those numbers.
Many of these men have families here at the fort. I can't force them to remain at their posts.
Of course.
I've heard what people say about you. A band of scoundrels turned mercenaries, led by Rowan of the Wicked Fangs, also known as the Faithless Reapers. 2 years ago, this pack of killers turned on their employer for a bit of coin and butchered countless civilians at Troden. You're the lowest of the low, the absolute dregs of humanity. But when it comes to warfare, none can best you.
You're well informed, if nothing else.
I heard the Hawks will be the last ones to leave. Why are you doing this for us? You could easily get away, so why don't you?
You're right. If we just wanted to stay alive, that would be the smart thing to do.
So then...
But someone has to stay behind so all of you can get to safety, right?
So why would a notorious band of cutthroats risk their lives for others when it would be a simple matter to flee?
Besides, we have unfinished business to take care of.
You mean revenge?
Two years ago, at Troden, we slaughtered enemies. We slaughtered innocents. And in doing so, we slaughtered ourselves.
I heard people at the fort. They were talking about you. But I know the Hawks aren't faithless. And you're definitely not Reapers. You're always fighting and getting hurt to protect others. Who cares about the past? Right now, you're fighting for all of us. Why can't everyone just see that? You could die, you know? Aren't you scared?
Of course I am. But there are things out there far more frightening than death.
It's time, Naki. We leave at first light.
Yeah. Okay.
Here, take this.
Your necklace? But it's important to you.
Whenever I feel fear taking a hold on the battlefield, that necklace keeps me grounded. It protects me.
I can't take something like that.
Naki, I have to leave you for a bit. But if you keep this necklace close, it will feel like I'm right there with you every step of the way. So hold on to it for me, okay? Please?
Sarah. I'll be waiting for you in Luden.
I know you will.
So, they've come.
The Mort onslaught has begun.
You really think we can hold this place on our own?
We have to. There's no other choice.
Hold. I'm not about to let you bastards claim all the glory this day.
General.
This is my fort, and I'll be damned if those filthy Mort take it from me. My troops and I will fight with you.
But what about your preparations?
All taken care of. Once we drive back to Mort, we stand ready to abandon this place.
It's heartening to know we have you watching our backs.
I'm sure it is. Still, I never imagined the day would come when we'd be fighting side by side, eh, Eurus?
Good thing I didn't kill you when I had the chance.
I won that fight, if memory serves.
You most certainly did not. Why, if I hadn't been ordered to retreat?
Ha! Seems we'll have to settle things after all.
I'm ready anytime.
But before we do, let's say we warm up by sending these Mort packing.
Gladly.
The plan is simple. Eliminate the Mort in the front of the fort and give the second team a window to escape. Let's go.
Night is falling fast. It would be dangerous to continue in the dark, so we'll stop and rest until dawn.
Okay.
Is something amiss?
Lorthos? What happened at Troden?
Where is this coming from?
I heard people at the fort saying bad things about the Ashen Hawks.
Well, I don't know all the details, but 2 years ago, civil war broke out in a small principality between a royal named Lord Bernhard and a group of rebels. The country was poor to begin with, and as the war raged on, cold and hunger took their toll, killing many on both sides. By the time the conflict was nearing its end, Bernhard's royal army was weakened, and he was driven into a corner. Desperate to reclaim the upper hand, he conscripted civilians from nearby villages and forced them to fight as his militia. They say he drafted not only the able-bodied, but the elderly, the infirm, and even children barely able to hold a weapon. Lord Bernhard ruled with an iron fist and had little mercy for the common folk, so none dared refuse him. To disobey his order would mean death for both the person in question and their entire family.
How awful.
At that point, the Ashen Hawk Brigade, which had been hired to fight for Lord Bernhard, broke contract and rebelled.
They turned on him? Why?
I've heard tell that the rebels pay them a generous sum to switch sides. The Hawks tore through the civilian militia Lord Bernhard was shielding behind, stormed his position and killed him. Without their lord, the royal army was routed. The rebellion slaughtered the rest of Bernhard's forces and won the day. But having exhausted its resources, the Principality was soon invaded by a neighbor and wiped off the map. And that, I fear, is all I know of the affair.
Such a terrible war.
All wars are terrible, Naki. But yes, I doubt you will find many conflicts crueler than that one.
Sarah said she had unfinished business. I wonder if I'll ever understand why she and the others stayed behind.
We managed to drive them off.
Yes, but it won't take them long to reform their ranks and mount a renewed assault.
True. General Levante, prepare the second team for evacuation at once.
Very well.
So this is it.
Do you have any regrets left?
I regret everything I've done with my worthless life. Didn't mean to let that slip. Point is, I don't need more regrets than I already have. That's why I'm here.
Still, look at us. Together to the very end. I suppose it must be fate.
I'm glad I met you, Karen.
Don't just come out and say stuff like that. You're gonna make me blush. But also, thanks. I thought I'd lost everyone important to me a long time ago. Guess you never know where life's going to take you.
Karen.
I wish I could say I don't have any regrets, but I suppose life is not so simple.
I still don't care much for fighting, but I know how important your warrior's honor was to you. So when we're out there on the battlefield, I hope I can help you reclaim what you lost.
Thank you, Sarah.
I am grateful to have lived among such stalwart companions.
Right back at you, Glenn.
Apologies. I'd meant to keep that to myself. Didn't realize I was actually speaking until the words were out.
Now that's embarrassing.
I want nothing more than to see this through, no matter the cost. But were I standing here alone, I likely would not be able to overcome the fear that stalks me. It is thanks to all of you that I can stand firm in the face of what is to come.
And you won't have to face it alone. Come on. It won't be long now before day breaks.
If all is going to plan, Lorthos' team should be making their way down the other side of the Alnea Mountains.
Indeed. You should set off before the Mort return. We know not when Lorthos' team may encounter the Horde. Should that happen, he'll have need of your strength.
I'll leave you with all the resources I can spare. Wish there was more I could do to help, but...
You have my thanks, General.
I can't say you did the right thing in Troden, but I do know this. By the time the incident finally occurred, Lord Bernhard had long since taken leave of his wits. He pit brother against brother, and was prepared to drag an entire nation into an endless mire of blood and slaughter. Had you not stopped
We betrayed our employer and murdered the civilians he scraped together and called a militia. Those are the facts. And the only truth that matters.
You Ashen Hawks are proud and honorable warriors. May Heraldor, the god of war, grant you strength in the battles yet to come.
Looks like this is it, kids. 5 of us against the entire Mort Horde. What's with the lousy flag?
Naki made it.
Kid really put his little heart into it, huh?
Not bad, actually.
Oh, it'll send the Mort running for the hills.
It was snowing that day as well, wasn't it?
Yes. I do believe it was. We have Mort as far as the eye can see. I imagine this inspires you, love?
You'd think, but I'm not sure even I can kill this many.
Look!
It's the one that killed Captain Rowan.
Guess it survived the nest.
Do you think it followed us here?
Perhaps, but don't let it distract you. The captain would not have us discard our mission in order to avenge him. We all know what to do. Lure the Mort into the fort, then keep them busy for as long as we're able. The safety of the evacuation teams depends upon our efforts in this battle. There are 5 of us, and, well, a great many of them. The odds are not in our favor.
Not a problem. Being at a disadvantage is nothing new.
You can say that again.
We'll fight like we always do. Our way.
Come then, Hawks. To war.
Thanks, love.
Glenn! We can't hold him off much longer!
You're right. We have to fall back. Set the fort to burn!
She was good to us, wasn't she?
Anyone see the hawk?
No.
I suppose we'll have to keep them busy a little while longer then.
With the fort in flames? Not likely.
Which leaves us with but one move to make. When the main force of the Mort arrives, we flee into the snowy mountains. Whittling away at them all the while, of course.
So we lead them into the hills where we stand a better chance of holding them off.
Yes. As they gain ground, we fall back. Their numbers count for less in the mountains, so we can chip away as they approach. Even so, it's only a matter of time before they'll be upon us. They'll cut off our escape. Which is why...
Hey, it's worth a shot. If nothing else, it buys time for the others to escape.
Agreed. This promises to be a worthy fight.
Looks like I'm tagging along. You dopes don't stand a chance in hell without me.
Then, all of you.
Yes, we stand together.
Looks like this is as far as we go. This will likely be the Ashen Hawk's final battle. If you have anything to say, now is the time.
I consider myself fortunate to be given the chance to die a warrior's death.
Not sure why I'm saying this, but this actually doesn't seem like such a bad way to go.
I've got my spear and plenty of Mort to kill. Couldn't hope for anything more than that.
You know, I've been meaning to ask, why do you hate the Mort so much?
Because they remind me of me.
Love, you're nothing like them.
These last 2 years have felt like wandering through an endless nightmare I can't ever wake up from. But I think I'll finally sleep well tonight.
It's time, Hawks. Burn away your fear.
Survive among the ashes.
Not sure about that whole survive bit.
It doesn't seem likely.
But we'll do our best.
That's all we've got left.
Come on, let's do this.
Eyes up, Garen! Here they come!
And now, we're surrounded.
I was hoping we could just gut the big fella and call it a day. Man, I hate being wrong.
I have also been no stranger to fear since the incident. There are things in this world more terrifying than death.
I have nothing left